Welcome to the PantherLair show on TribLIVE Radio. I'm Chris Peak, and they're beefing. They were beefing this week. Everybody was talking about it all over Twitter, all over social media. They're talking about the beefs, and it was big. Pat Narduzzi and Dana Holgorsen, right? Dana Holgorsen makes a comment to ESPN about how West Virginia's been, quote, begging to play Pitt. And Pat Narduzzi, like a baller, comes back when he's asked about Holgorsen's begging to play Pitt comment. And what does Narduzzi say? Says, I never beg. Boom! Roasted, Dana. Narduzzi goes on to say, quote, I'd love to play West Virginia someday, but our in-state rivalry, Penn State, is bigger than an out-of-state rivalry. Double boom. Narduzzi throwing the beef, throwing the diss tracks at Dana Holgorsen. About an hour later, after Brett McMurphy from ESPN tweets out those comments from Narduzzi, Holgorsen comes back with a tweet because his musket trigger fingers turned into Twitter fingers, as it were. And Holgorsen says in his tweet, Mountaineers don't back out of a brawl, hashtag Sweet Caroline. That's a good comeback, Dana. That's good. That's a good line. But it took you an hour to come up with it, and you tweeted it. Not good enough as Narduzzi's off the cuff, not even thinking about it. I never beg. So Pat Narduzzi wins that, and it's a lot of fun. I like this kind of stuff. People have complained about it in the past, about these Twitter wars, taking shots at each other, the coaching staffs, and that we've seen not just around here, but across the country. You see these kind of things develop, and people rip on it. I think it's fun. I think it adds this extra element to liven things up, to spice them up a little bit. But then you ultimately got to get on the field and play, and that's where it all kind of comes together. And that's the kind of downside of this Pat Narduzzi, Dana Holgorsen thing, is they don't play. Pitt and Pat Narduzzi, they need to have a beef with somebody they actually play. And who are they going to have a beef with in the ACC Coastal Division? I mean, Larry Fedora at North Carolina, he doesn't know if he's going to have scholarships and or a job next year. David Cutcliffe, no matter what you say to Cutcliffe, you could be like, buddy, you can't even put 9,000 in the stands at your stadium. He's just going to look at you and go, Peyton Manning. And that's pretty much all he's got. I mean, and you can't really come back to that, can you? Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech, he's so stoic, he wouldn't be fun to argue with. He'd just be sitting there thinking of ways to solve college football, which he's figured out a lot of them. Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, you could start a beef with him. But if you told Frank Beamer, hey, this guy's got beef, Beamer would probably make some joke and be like, oh, the lady from the Wendy's commercial finally got the answer to her question. Ha, 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 ha. Mike London at Virginia, why even waste the energy? He's not going to be there next year. There's nobody good to beef with in the ACC Coastal Division. Nope. The ultimate beef for Pat Narduzzi and for Pitt, the one you want to have going back and forth, it's Penn State. The fans love it. You can see the players get into it. Pat Narduzzi and James Franklin are perfect foils for each other. And let's be honest, Urban Meyer, he doesn't care about James Franklin. Mark D'Antonio, he doesn't care about James Franklin. Jim Harbaugh, he doesn't care about James Franklin. Pat Narduzzi, now this is a guy who'd be willing to get into it and mix it up with James Franklin. But for the beef to happen, they got to play on the field.